Friday afternoon, 3 o'clock in Bussum in the Netherlands. My name is Claudia van Zuiden.
And my name, I had to slow down, you said.
Did I?
Yeah. My name is Arturo Massaro.
And together we are conscious world agents.
Yes.
I got it. Where did I say that?
Well, more or less. You said, well, let's take the time before we say what the topic is.
Yeah. That's about it. Yeah, because what we find that sometimes people know we're starting at 3, and then they maybe join us at 3:05, and then we're already middle conversation of a post or something like that.
They can always look back.
So that's true. That's very true. So my suggestion was that we would have a little bit of a slow intro.
Yes.
Before we would start full on. So thank you for watching. If you watch it afterwards, after the live recording, great. Then we hope you had a good day. And we are here today to touch up on the topic. You have to do things yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. And that was referring to, for example, if people face challenges or they have pain or quite, some struggles in their lives, and then we sort of seem to think that we need to do it all ourselves.
Yes.
And I can certainly relate to that myself. Very independent woman for a very long time, and always could do everything myself. And was that so helpful in the end? So we will be talking about that.
Well, one of the people who was almost always watching, I think it was Karen, wrote down in a comment, well, thank you for reminding me this, because when I was young and a young child, I always said to my mother, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
And she's been changing that sentence. She switched it from I can do it myself, I have to do it alone in their own conditioning.
Wow, yeah.
And I think a lot of people say it. And you hear it also, a young child and a boy or a girl, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They say, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. But you don't have to do it alone.
Yeah, that's so true. And I can relate a lot to that as well. And learning then to accept, help. But I would like to say, I think Ratna is there as well. Hi, Ratna. And I don't know who else watching, but lovely that you're here. And we were saying today that we'll start a little bit later, rather than straight in at 3 o'clock in the topic. But somehow we're there already. So, but the post was about that. It was about, do we really have to do everything ourselves?
Yeah.
Well, my experience is that I was brought up to be quite independent at a very young age, and I was quite independent, and I could do quite a lot of things on my own, which has been very helpful in my life, especially when certain challenges came, and when I was a single mom for a while, and it did help me because I could fend for myself. I could work. I could chop wood. I could sometimes
carry water,
and chop wood and carry water, and I could repair things from the house. And I had learned a lot by observation, and I could manage a lot of things. But it was also quite exhausting, at times, because it was like I couldn't ask for help, because that would be like I wasn't strong. I was maybe then seen as a weak person or anything like that. And it also had to do that I didn't trust a lot of people, because when I did ask for help, I remember that when I was young, and then it backfired at me, because then I owed people things, or they said, well, I did that for you, and now you need to do this for me right now.
Well.
Maybe in a situation when I wasn't able, or like, you know what, I better do it myself, because then it's done, and I don't owe anybody something, because I couldn't always do something back at that moment when people wanted it, or something like that, or You know, there was like an expectation. It wasn't really unconditional. And I also found that I was helping a lot of people. I worked part-time in the nursing profession. I was counseling. Was always had extra food in the house. People would come at the door unexpectedly and they could eat with me and whatever. But I was not very good at receiving it from the other side again. So I looked at that, right? And, you know, we can go on a long time about this. In the end, I sort of learned, and then I think it was when I was about 40, that, yeah, I should really start to ask again for help and start to learn to receive. And also someone said to me once, you also then take the opportunity away for others to give to you. And that has been quite a repetition.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful to give someone to people, you know, we owe something to people. We have the studies done that they say in our brain the same area lights up when we give than when we receive. So, you know, I was really a bit selfish in that way of not allowing others to do it as well. But I was also not allowing myself to receive. So I started to work on that. And wow, what a difference that makes, you know, to receive, to be vulnerable, to say, you know what, today I really can't do this and I need some help here. And not expecting it, but really being very grateful when I received the help. And wow, when I started to do that, my life changed so much. There was so much love came on my path, so much friends said, you know, Clau, we want to help you, but you need to allow us to help you. And it was such a different experience. And I became much softer also for myself, towards others. And now I think I'm much better at that. There's still a lot of work to be done. It's a work in process, but so I hear. But and I know that myself as well. Sometimes I'm still like, yeah, I can do it. You know, it's like, yeah, but you know, you don't have to do it now. And it's like, oh yeah, okay, I can relax here and receive. So yeah, what I would suggest for you as well is just to check up with yourself. You know, where are you still thinking, oh, I need to do this myself, or with who would you feel safe enough that you could say, well, you know what, I need some help here, you know? Because there is that level of trust perhaps as well. I think in the next level would be that you would, you know, you would trust the whole universe to be there for you, which I am much more and more now. But I think to start, I had to learn with whom can I trust and who is really unconditionally there for me. And that's been a huge experience for me and a wonderful spurt of growth, I would say, consciously. So yeah, that was my post.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I like what you say when that you also take away the opportunity of the other person.
Yeah.
And then the question is for all of you, how do you feel when you really help another person? How do you really feel then?
Yeah.
And if you don't ask for help, you take away that feeling
For the other.
for the other.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's a little bit selfish to do everything on your own.
And boring, actually.
And
as well.
also boring, you know. And then they say, if you do it alone, probably you can do it faster. But when you do it together, you can go much further, but it's also much more fun. And that last part, it makes it so much easier. And for me, that's important to also to share.
Yeah.
And again, think about how do you really feel? How do you really feel when you help other people? It's coming from your heart. It's unconditional. You don't need anything back from it. It's not you do it because you want to fill the emotional bank account. No, that's not unconditional. You help. How do you feel? Think about that when you need help.
Yeah, and I think what was very good for me in that way was like being a mother, you know, and wanting to give, and you as a parent, you might relate to that, you naturally give.
Yeah.
You know, you don't expect, I didn't expect and still don't anything back from my children.
No.
You just give, you
Yeah.
know, this natural instinct that I had, and that was also in nursing. You know, I didn't expect anything back from my patients
No.
or whatever, and or like, oh, I will only be nice to the nice patients. No, you know, in general, you just nurse and you look after people, and that's the same with my coaching clients. You just help them if they ask for it.
Nice.
And then there is that joy, I think, the joy that comes. There is that, I think, is the key.
Mm-hmm.
You call it fun, but I would call it also that deep inner joy that arises. Like, oh, you know, this is so wonderful to give.
Yes, it is. Yeah. Maybe joy is a better word than fun, but okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but it could be fun too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here we get around. Maybe saying something? Yeah. Never thought of it like that, Arturo Massaro. Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has some wisdom right now. Really.
I don't know where I get it, but
just
I just ask for it and it will come to me.
And he receives it so well.
Yeah, yes, thank you.
No, but it's absolutely true, because you're the one who said that to me. Like, you know, it's like you don't have to do it. You have to do it yourself, but you don't have to do it alone. And I was like, whoa, that's so profound. That really stuck with me. And that did something also to me energetically. Like, of course, you know, I don't. And sometimes we still need someone to say that to you. Like, well, I certainly, for it to register here, and then it can sink right into my heart. And certainly did that with me.
Yeah, and probably most of us were raised by doing a lot of things on our own. And there's nothing wrong with it, because you need to do it yourself. You need to take the first step towards your goal, towards your dream. You need to take the first action. You need to conquer all the thresholds that you will encounter in life. You need to overcome them. It's you need to do it. And you never ever can do it alone. You need other people to overcome the problems, but also to share the joy, because at the end, when you go to such a high level, then joy is everything, the bliss is there, and I can recognize that. But we're living here on this planet in a 3D world and maybe in a 4D. And here we still need to do it together. Here it comes up to you to open up and to say, okay, help me. I cannot do it alone anymore. I don't see an opportunity. I don't see a solution. I only see the problem sometimes. And by asking this, people will share how they would do it, probably. Or maybe they start even right away to help you. Or they say, well, I faced the same issue as you did, and this is how I overcome it. And you can learn. And with this learning, you will expand your knowledge, you will expand your feeling, you will expand your level of consciousness. And then you will go to a little bit a higher position, meta position, and you oversee your issues a little bit easier. And next time you ask for help again, and this is how you raise your level of consciousness, your level of confidence, your level of knowledge, but also your level of faith. There is always a solution for something. And I wrote in my post that, you know, nobody on this planet ever knows enough to be a pessimistic. And that's what I mean with this. You can look at the issue and you can look at the problem. Well, that's not solvable. I don't see any solution. That's true. You don't see it at this point. But if you ask and you stay open, there's always a solution. Always. But it's sometimes hard. Let's be honest in this. It's not always easy. But if life was easy, we all had already achieved our dreams and all the other things. So it's also this challenge in life is also nice. It can help you. And then it's how you look at your issues. Are you looking at, well, let's take it simple. Glass half full or half empty. And if you look at half empty, please ask for help. And if you look at the glass half full, please ask for help also. Because maybe you don't see only all the solutions. That's okay.
Good.
Yeah, have a funny bye.
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 Mood is in a funny mood.
Okay. I hope it's clear what we, or at least I tell you now. Is this going well? I ask for help now.
Yeah, great.
Yeah,
It's
great.
going
Okay,
really
let's stop.
well. Okay, we cut this one.
Okay, no, we don't cut.
No.
It's nice.
It's great.
Yeah.
No, I think you're absolutely right here. That's I loved everything you're saying, and the beauty is that also when you say the glass is full, you know, you might be a little bit overconfident, and you might
Absolutely.
and I think that was something that I had to point, and then you drop quickly as well, and there's no sort of middle gradual path there, and that I think. Yeah, that was a little bit too much for me as well. Too independent, too confident, and then you drop because then you realize you're not fully in balance. Well, I wasn't fully in balance, and then, wow, okay, I didn't realize that it had such a profound effect on me.
Yeah, and I think maybe it's a nice addition what you say. You know, if you want to, reach your goals, your dreams, or just have fun in life and enjoy it. It's hard to do that if you're constantly depending on other people. So if you have a behavior, depend on you. Yeah? So do it yourself means that you can be independent. Is that you take your own responsibility. You know what you need to do. But the next level is the interdependency, and that means you need other people. Well, let's put it easily here. This cup of tea, who made this cup? I hold it now and I have to drink the tea myself, but the water, the cup, the tea leaves, all these kind of things. All other people brought it to me. I bought it in a shop and so on, and people need to put it in the shop. So we need everybody. And if we start asking a little bit more for help, I think everybody will enjoy life more, we have more joy, and we feel more the connection with each other.
And yeah, especially now, you know, as we are, I think we mentioned this before in one of our recordings, that, you know, they're raising us to become superheroes. You know, you also see that in movies. You have Superman, Superwoman, super duper spider. Cat.
Super ant.
Catwoman. Everybody doing super. And then when they've done their good duty, they retreat to their own place and they close the door and, you know, they're invisible. And I think that is not very helpful. I think to stay connected and to share and what do you really feel and what does it do to you, inspire people, that's that connection we need to make and build communities of like-minded people like that, you know, whether that is your work or where you live and things like that, that realize that we are all interdependent.
Yeah, and everything in this universe exists only in relationship. Right? That's what I wrote also about water. It's hydrogen and oxygen.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if two hydrogen atoms will connect with one oxygen atom, then we have water. Yeah. Otherwise, if they don't connect, if they don't say, oh, let's work together, then we wouldn't have water here. It's that simple for me.
Yeah, so we just would like to know how you have experienced that, and is this helping you? Is this reflective for you? Is there also something that goes in you like, oh my gosh, I'm really not only helping myself by being more open, more receptive, but also, also helping others that way. So do you still feel there is maybe a rejection and things like that you hold against others? I certainly felt that there needed be a little bit of trust as well.
Yeah.
And when I gave them, away sort of my vulnerability, well, I didn't give it away, but I shared my vulnerability with someone, and then they would withdraw, that made me a little bit more careful to share it again. And I learned from that not to do that anymore, because I didn't find that very helpful for the whole relationship that you would have with a person.
But then, and then you step to an independency that you think you need to do it alone. And if you are vulnerable, you ask for help, and the other person cannot help you or will not help you, it says nothing about you, absolutely nothing about you.
No.
But we take it personally.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, and then it's hard the next time to be a little bit more vulnerable or open up.
Yeah.
Ask this question because it shows weakness, or other persons can hurt you.
Yeah.
And it's all, valid in some kind of way, because we all experience that.
Yeah.
But if it's stopping you from really asking, then it's not helpful.
No.
This attitude. And of course, don't ask everybody for help and trust everybody right away. Sometimes you need to be careful.
Yeah.
But it starts with you opening up. And again here, it starts with you. You need to do it yourself. Asking. And then the other one will help you.
Yes.
Or not.
Or not. And that's okay
That's
too.
okay. Yeah.
But I think that is where the maturity comes in there, and the becoming aware of that inner joy. Like you can also have inner joy saying, wow, this feeling arises, but I want to share it. I don't want to keep it to myself anymore. And like, for example, when it goes about relationships, when you and I have these conversations, you also say, share what's going on inside you, and then, oh yeah, I can share it, But I could have also gone on with my daily work and whatever, and not have shared it. But it brings a closeness. It brings this togetherness more and more if you do share from that space, I think.
Yeah, and I think also something else happens, and that is that if you ask for help and people help you, and you see the benefit, you feel it. You start also at the subconscious level probably, but maybe even at the conscious level also. Instead of what's in it for me, you go to how may I serve? How can I help you? Mm-hmm. So you start opening up yourself also to other people to be more helpful.
Yeah, but that is what you're cultivating inside.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that. I feel that too. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Beautiful, eh? And so is this...
Life is so simple.
Beautiful life.
It's not easy, but it's simple.
It's simple, it's not easy, true. So coming to that, we're moving towards nearly our first year of Conscious World Agents. We need to celebrate that as well.
Oh yeah,
it's winter
cool.
solstice, eh?
Yeah, nice, yeah.
And
this month,
and then this month also we are invited again at our dear friend Aramik Caribbean.
Yeah.
In somewhere near Amsterdam.
Somewhere near Amsterdam.
And he's asked us to share in his life.
Head Village. Hoofddorp.
Near Amsterdam, he's going to ask in his show to talk about 22 tips for 2022.
Yeah.
So we'll share a link on here.
Yeah. So I will be there on at 2 p.m. live, and you I think at 3 p.m.
Okay.
And probably we will do our live session in the evening.
Then,
And then the weekend after that we have
No, that weekend.
we
Yeah.
have also the 4-leaf clover second module.
Yes.
So we're looking also forward to that.
Yes, we're looking forward to seeing our participants who signed up for this year, and we'll start our next one in March, but we'll come back to that another time. But we're really looking forward to that. And next week, our topic will be.
Yeah, what we discussed about it. I forgot it.
No, we
Help
talked.
me.
Yeah, we talked about relative reality.
Ramdas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and about the relative reality, how we experience it.
Yeah.
You know, Ram Dass and also Einstein, they speak about, and lots of other people, of course, speak about that we cannot change the energy, we cannot change the situation, or we cannot have the outcome that we wish if we continue the same thought process that we're in that has created it, the situation, or the thought, or the circumstance. So we need to raise our own level of awareness and then make a conscious choice in a different approach. So what we give our attention to, that will grow. Of course, a lot of people will know that. So we need to become then aware, what do we give our attention to? Because what we give our attention to is creating how we experience our relative reality. So that will be the topic for next week.
I thought you were explaining everything already.
No.
That's good.
Then we could have another topic. No, but that may be nice to think about already for people.
And I see that Ratna wrote something.
Okay.
Shall I
Yeah,
read it?
please. Please.
Then I read it from here.
Okay.
Ratna said, well, really great pointers, beautiful souls. Okay.
Oh, thank you, Ratna.
Thank you, Ratna.
Ratna has always some good insights to share with us as well, and we'll hopefully one day we'll invite her as well here, if we can arrange that for a nice chat.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about that
As
with
our
you
guest
first.
speaker.
Who knows? You'll have to agree on that. We'll see, because she also has started an amazing project herself. So limitless change, very very nice. So yeah, that's our topic for next week, and and then we will talk about ways of how to become more aware of that, where you put your attention to, and that is also what we will be talking about in a module 2 that weekend. So it all interlinks beautifully with each other. So I wish you a wonderful weekend, and hope that you're going to do something that uplifts you, that brings you greater awareness of how to cultivate this inner joy in your heart, and that you will just not keep that to yourself, but share it with your loved ones and people you meet, people in the shops. Share a smile, your little mask maybe down, give a little smile if you wear one. Just make it a beautiful weekend.
Yes, and see if you can ask for help somewhere in this weekend at a certain moment. Doesn't matter on what topic.
Yeah. And if there's anything you feel to share about that can help others, then we invite you to always do that. Thanks for watching. It's been wonderful.
Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next week. Bye for now.